Cowboy Nation, we gotta face this head on and embrace it because this is our franchise. This is what we've been used to, guys, for the last 30 years. So ain't nothing different around these parts. Cowboy Nation, what is happening? Live and in living color, we bring to you the Noise of the Boys podcast, a Dallas Cowboys Homer exclusive from our studio at HQ1. I'm your co-host, color commentator, Matt Longoria, and with me, as always, my right-hand dude sitting to my left, Uncle C. Tom.
What's up, everybody? Matt and I are just two true blue, over-the-top, diehard fanatics that come together to help you celebrate those wins. Still find the silver and blue linings in the losses. Don't know if there's going to be any of those today. We're here to make some noise about the boys. How we feeling today, Matt Long?
Well, having had multiple days to get over it, I feel a little bit better than I did immediately following Sunday's game. I had myself a nice little nap afterward. But a tough pill to swallow, to say the least. Dallas Cowboy Nation, your Dallas Cowboys have been eliminated from Super Bowl contention
again
in the first round. And a lot of people saw this coming. A lot of us true blue held our breath and crossed our fingers, and it just didn't go our way on Sunday in a lot of aspects of the game. And we're just kind of here to shoot the shit about it, man. Honestly, like, a lot of times we come on here with content prepared for you guys, but this is one of those we just had to soak in for a little while and just kind of collect our wits, and here we are to talk about it. So what you got?
I'm depressed. I am wearing all black because it is the Dallas Cowboys funeral today.
I'm wearing my work shirt.
Yeah, you came prepared today. I am extremely disappointed. The haters are probably laughing at us right now. So don't think I've ever felt this good about a Cowboys team. And then at the same time been so frustrated. There were parts of through 7 games of this season, nobody could tell me that we weren't the best team in the league. After our 4-game win streak, I definitely had some reservations, but it's hard to win in the NFL. We won 4 in a row, and so I was feeling real good. I thought that we got some really nice, solid wins, not against the best teams in the league or anything like that, but at that time, the rest of the league was kind of up and down, so it was hard for me to believe that we weren't just as much of a contender as anybody else. So this is a tough pill to swallow, like you said. This one has been bothering me. I've had the opportunity to try and get over it, but this is a tough one, man. I haven't felt this good about a team in a long time, just because of the way the defense has played this year. And in the last video we were talking about, like, regardless of what happens, this was a fun season, and it was a really fun regular season. It was nice while it lasted, but it sure is disappointing that when your team goes one and done.
Yeah, if you guys felt anything like us, there was a lot of those pregame jitters as if we were the ones going out on the field getting ready to go to war. But I think for me, my anxiety came in based on how the Cowboys have played playoff teams this year. And, when they went up against Kansas City about midway through the year, I thought, like, this would be a very telling story as to where the Cowboys are as a team. And I kind of wanted to believe it was a fluke just based on how the offense performed. But then it kind of kept happening, like against Las Vegas, it was obviously a really, really bad loss against Denver. Then to lose against Arizona. Arizona was one of those games that was like Would really like to see them win here because it'll make me feel better going into the playoffs, considering all of the W's that we're collecting at this point in the season. So that's where my anxiety came from, and I was like, it's now or never, right? Like
that game, talking about the Arizona game, that game kind of killed a lot of the confidence I had.
Right.
Just, simply because I never thought that the Arizona Cardinals, after they lost Hopkins, they never looked the same. I never believed that they could actually be, a contender again after their hot start. So for us to lose that game at home, that one really shot down my confidence in this team. So I think that game, I think the reason I was so nervous and I wasn't ready for the playoffs was because I just had this overwhelming feeling like this is it. Like we're not going to win this game. Like we couldn't beat Arizona. We're not going to beat San Francisco. Like it's a tale of two halves of this season. The first half was a Super Bowl contending team, and the second half was the same team that we saw in 2019. So, like you said, that Arizona game just kind of put a damper on everything for me. And I think, like you said, that's why I was so scared, because I was like, I'm praying. I am absolutely praying and hoping that they come out and they look like the first half season team. But my overwhelming feeling was we're going home. Like I was putting out false hope out there, Cowboys Nation, giving the Cowboys the win in our pregame, just hoping that I would be right, hoping that the team from the first half of the season shows up, and man, blew up in my face.
Yeah, I want to kind of go over our keys to win. I see you got them up over there on your screen. So for mine, that the Cowboys did the exact opposite of everything that I suggested. My first key to win was offense needs to start fast. We need to be firing on all cylinders. Dak needs to play at a high level. Offensive line must be up for the challenge. There, very early on, the offensive line was not up for this challenge. The pocket continued to collapse. Dak continued to be indecisive. And we didn't get any points on the board until 5 minutes and 19 seconds left in the second quarter. So definitely did not start fast. But they did prove us wrong. They did defer to the second half, having won the coin toss, and that's something that we didn't predict. It didn't really do much because going into the second half, we didn't score. I believe it was a 3-and-out if I'm not mistaken. My second one was don't beat yourself. I said I don't want it to be a postseason thing like the ref did this, or there was a missed call, or there was a bad no call, or there was something of that nature. And we ended up, I believe, with 14 penalties in this game. They started raining in early. You can kind of tell what the momentum of this game was going to take us. And then my last one was control the time of possession. Let me find that real quick.
We lost time of possession.
Team stats.
33-26.
We lost the time of possession 33 minutes to 26, with the second or two to spare. And it didn't, honestly, it felt like we lost it by a bigger margin. But point being is, for my three keys, didn't get it done.
Yeah, my three keys were get them behind the chains, and we saw on the first drive of the game that wasn't happening. There was, considering that this is a playoff team and San Francisco runs the ball well, I don't think that the defense played terribly. There were a lot of times where they won first and second down. You heard me yelling it during the game, and it was 3rd and long, and we would get the stop, but there's a penalty, illegal use of hands to the face, or pass interference, or holding, just shooting ourselves in the foot over and over and over. So those 3rd and longs didn't really matter. And, Jimmy G, he showed up, man. He made the throws he needed to once again. Very frustrating. The fact that a guy like that is beating us. He had one throw to the sideline that was an absolute dime, and I was just flabbergasted, just shell-shocked. I was like, wow, it's just not our day today. And that was a first down conversion. So My second key was make them one-dimensional. They were extremely balanced. They ran for 170 yards on us, which is also I was very wrong in my bold prediction. I said that they wouldn't allow 120. They went well over that. And then my third key to win for the Cowboys was to get 2 takeaways, and they had a few opportunities.
Right.
There was a few times where an interception went through somebody's hands. Can't remember exactly who. Was that Anthony Brown that had the interception? I think it was. Anthony.
I don't recall. I know that there was a what looked to be a fumble that ended up being an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and
that one. Okay, I can say that I really thought that was a fumble there, and I really thought that changed the momentum of the whole game, and I really felt the momentum swing. But when they called the INC, I was like, man, of course.
Yeah, and so the Cowboys didn't do a single key to win. Unfortunately, the ones that we put up, even the 7th bonus key to win, which was score more points, Cowboys go home in the first round. Very disappointing, man. You know, the thing that really sucks about being a Cowboys fan is they can't just lose. Like, it's always got to be in dramatic fashion. So you're up and you're down, and you know, when we got that interception, I was right before that happened. I was about as low as you can be during a game. And then he got it. Everybody around us was dead silent, but I was the only one that jumped up and was screaming. And then Dak runs in the touchdown. I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, it's time. This game is on. And of course, you know, like you said, the fumble play happened, or the incomplete pass that we thought was a fumble. Man, I was like, it's go time. Like, it's time for us to take over this game. So whenever they called that incomplete, and then I think they got a couple first downs, I was like, damn. So at the end of the day, you know, a lot of Cowboys fans are blaming referees. A lot of Cowboys fans are blaming coaches. But at the end of the day, your $40 million quarterback had 3 minutes remaining in the game with all 3 timeouts, down 6. This is the legendary moment. Mm-hmm. Couldn't get it done. I'm not saying it's all on Dak, but if you want to be Tom Brady, if you want to be like Aaron Rodgers, that was his moment. So I was definitely disappointed that he wasn't able to execute on that drive.
I also think that it's also frustrating because as a Cowboys fan, naturally you want to at least be able to say that your team beat Tom Brady, and this might be it, man. And this may have been our last opportunity to go up against him. And nobody really wants to see him in the postseason, but that could have been our chance to take him out once and for all and do it on by our own hand. So it's just a little unfortunate that we didn't get to watch that. My bold prediction was wrong. I had looked for 10 targets, and I said Coop would get 10 targets or more, with 145 receiving yards and at least 1 touchdown. Condiment on the offensive line, giving Dak time to go through his progressions.
Which didn't happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, I give myself a D for that.
Yeah, like I said, I give myself an F. They ran all over us. First drive of the game, just absolutely moving us off the ball. It was a long day for the Cowboys all around. If you look at my matchup for the game, it was the Cowboys O-line versus the 49ers D-line. This game was going to be won and lost on whether or not their D-line. So Armstead, Nick Bosa ended up leaving the game, but Armstead and their DTs, could they beat Collins and Tyron Smith and Biotish and Connor Williams? And they did handedly. I think Dak got sacked 5 times. It was a long day, man. You know, that's why I don't put it all on Dak, but there was definitely some plays that he left out there where he was standing back there with plenty of time. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it turned into absolutely nothing. And then it's just like, of course, you know, big play after big play gets called back and it gets called back. It's just like, it's the timely penalties is what drives me crazy.
Now, what's kind of interesting is like the inside baseball of what's the buzz around the locker room and what are the rumors that are swirling around. And we'll get into that in our next vid. This is just kind of like a group therapy session. But I will tell you guys that it does get very interesting in terms of Zeke's injury, Dak's calf injury, Jerry Jones' favoritism, you know, Dak's comments about the referees postseason and then coming out with an apology. What's going to happen to the offensive line? What's going to happen with Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn? Is Mike McCarthy safe? So lots to talk about, like logistics wise, and we'll get into that again in the next vid. But we just want to come out here and sulk with you guys. That's what the point of this one is. Is just like, for me, I just kind of put everything on the back burner and forgot about it for a couple days. But we gotta, Cowboy Nation, we gotta face this head on and embrace it, because this is our franchise. This is what we've been used to, guys, for the last 30 years. So ain't nothing different around these parts.
And I don't see anything changing for the foreseeable future. You know, we can make all these comments that we want to about steps in the right direction, and we've got things that we can look forward to, and we should be happy about the team that we have. I don't want to hear none of that, man. Okay, like, I get it. It was an exciting season, and yeah, we've got a solid team, but the NFL is wacky, y'all, and it changes every single year. And I mean, just look at the last 2 years compared to this year. You know, we were 9-7 or 8-8, and then we went to 4-12, and then now we're 12-5 and with a division title. So who's to say that we won't come out and be 7-10 next year? You know,
yeah, you never know.
So when you're there, you got to try and do everything you can to make the most of your opportunities. And so it's just disappointing that we couldn't even get one at home. We looked like pretenders out there. And I'm not entirely sure if, I'm not entirely sure if we're going to see very much good moving forward.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes. Like, for those of you who aren't familiar with postseason moves, we'll definitely cover that for you guys and try to give you guys a better understanding of what the market looks like, and where we're going to be trending going into the off season, and then again into the 2022-2023 season. But
lots of off-season talk coming up that
yeah,
I'm not excited. I wish we were still covering Cowboys games right now.
I'm looking at our losses. I mean, loss to the Buccaneers, the Broncos, which is, I think that's our worst loss of the season.
That's kind of like where everything changed.
Yeah, and then losing to the Chiefs, that one was a jawbuster. And then immediately following, we lost to the Raiders 4 days later. Then the Cardinals. I mean, those games, man, was just like, just if we can win this game, I'll feel so much better about our season, because we don't just have a collection of lackluster wins. And you get that when you beat teams like, well, first of all, when you beat our division, you got Philly, Washington, and the New York Football Giants twice. So that's 6 wins right there of our 12. So that's half our wins. And then you've got a win against
6-4
Atlanta
versus the rest of the league.
A win against Atlanta, a dub against New Orleans, depending on who you ask, that's a quality win. You got a win against Minnesota and New England.
That was a good win, the New England and Minnesota. But that just kind of goes back to what I was saying about how it was a tale of two halves of this season.
Yeah.
That Broncos game, everything changed. I'm not sure what it was, but nobody looked right from that game moving forward. And then they came out, and I went to the Atlanta Falcons at Cowboys game, and that was a great game. We beat the brakes off of them. So after that game, I was like, all right, we're back. Like, I felt so good.
So many times.
I felt so freaking good after that Atlanta. Shout out to the Cowboys. They gave me a good birthday. So that's all they can
Same. When you beat the Eagles on your birthday, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And so, like I said, lots of good regular season moments. But as a Cowboys fan and as somebody that's been diehard like this for years on end, it's disappointing, and it gets frustrating over and over and over and over. But Cowboys Nation, don't be that person that says fire Dak, trade Zeke, fire McCarthy. None of that's happening, so just stop talking about it. Okay, we can move past that.
Cowboy Nation, how are you guys feeling after this? Comment below your thoughts and interact with us. Remember, guys, follow us on Twitter at Noise of the Boys. You're going to get this Noise of the Boys podcast hopefully on a weekly basis. It's always going to be free, guys. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Apple and Spotify. And we're working on expanding. So
won't just be Cowboys content.
Yeah, it's going to be real fun, guys. So hopefully you guys are open-minded to that. I think we have a smaller enough audience that we will be okay with a little transitioning. But I think that well, first of all, I will say that I don't know the rule book like the back of my hand. So I know that there was some talk about the ref needs to touch the ball and spot it before a play can be ran. There was one sequence in there when we ran the fake punt. And then we were trying to force a timeout, and then we made a transition. We brought our offensive unit out, and the ref was just hovering over the ball. That one didn't make sense.
Oh,
to
the
me.
delay a game?
That one, yeah.
That makes me sick.
I don't know what that's about.
What the hell was that?
But I'm talking about the end of the game when he was just kind of like blocking Dak from
ran him
snapping
over.
the ball. Man, it's the thing about it is I just don't like to hang my hat on that kind of stuff, knowing that we had opportunities to go ahead in the game, earlier in the game. In fact, in a position where I think it was 4th and 10, and at this point in the game, I thought we could afford to kick a field goal and go and try to get the ball back, but we went for it on 4th and 10 anyways. Dak forced one. It looked like we were going to convert it, on some miracle stuff, but.
The deep ball to Said.
Yeah, we had opportunities, man.
Couldn't execute.
Yeah.
But yeah, that going back, I understand the whole rule of like you got to allow them to substitute, but everybody was set, and there was like 5 seconds left on the play clock, and the ref was just standing there in front of Dak, and then they called a delay a game on us. It's just like, what? Why?
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, it's just stuff like that, and it's. Nobody wanted to watch. That was the most the most viewed playoff game of that weekend, predictably. Mm-hmm. But when you have these high, like millions and millions of viewers, like setting new records for viewership in football games, why do the refs feel the need to throw 20 plus flags? It's so damn annoying, and I don't care. Like, I'm not pointing out anything in particular, but it's just like something has to be done eventually, right? The NFL is tarnishing their own product. Like, nobody wants to see the damn referee on the screen 20 plus times and extend the game an extra 45 minutes. If you're going to extend the game an extra 45 minutes, then just do it because of playing and cooler overtime rules and stuff like that. Like,
make those calls because you have to, because you just have no other choice. For me, it's like we got a lot of penalties, but I felt like they left so much on the field for Arizona. There was some plays where we were getting back to get Jimmy G, and there was some clear holds, and I'm just like, how are you not going to call that? Like, that is, I can see this.
Oh, you mean San Francisco?
Yeah.
You said Arizona.
Excuse me. Yeah, San Francisco. Yeah. There was so many times where we're getting in the backfield, and I can see our guys' jerseys being stretched, and I'm like, damn, man, we're not going to call that?
Yeah, Micah was in a chokehold on one play that didn't get called. But, I mean, we've covered why we think the Cowboys and what was frustrating about it and why we thought the Cowboys lost. So, we're not putting this on the referees, but it just, game after game, and it's not just the Cowboys games. It's a lot of games that you watch. Just terrible officiating. Flags on every play. Nobody wants to see an old-ass white dude making some stupid call that wiped out a 45-yard pass play because of some ticky-tack holding on the other side of the field. Like, bro, like, nobody cares. Like, they're tarnishing their own product, and I'm sick of it. It's fuck them.
It's not fun to watch. And I don't know what there's no better way to explain it than saying you're tarnishing your own product, because like nobody wants to see that, bro. But that's just the bitterness living inside of us, guys, and we'll get over it, and hopefully we look to see some changes, maybe in officiating in the off season.
Doubt it.
But yes, have highly doubt that.
Just to kind of wrap this thing up and, gives the haters something to laugh about and the Cowboys fans a little bit of something that you can take home with you. All that matters is that you're true blue, and we had a good season. It was a fun season. Maybe next year, Cowboys haters, feel free to take that and laugh at it, just like you always do. You never fail. Cowboys Nation, we love you. We still here. We're going to be riding through this thing together into year 30 without a Super Bowl. So let's go.
you're quick to hate, but you're not quick to claim your team. So I look, I understand the hate on some of these Cowboys fans. We've been to the game, so we can see what there is to hate. But for the most part, I would say that there are reasonable fans out there. We're not all that. Like
we act just like every other fan of their team.
So because we have, I guess, more pride in our team, I guess that makes us whack. But I will say
every fan of every team is like, we can do it this year. But for some reason, when it's the Cowboys, it's hilarious and it's stupid.
It's so funny, and it's dumb to even think that way.
It's like, okay, then why even watch? Why even watch if I don't think that we stand a chance? It's like, I might as well just not even tune in this season.
But True Blue, you guys know, never jump ship. Maybe next year, that's our motto, right? I mean, for the last 27 years, definitely our motto.
Three playoff wins since the year that we were born.
Wow.
3.
We were at one of them.
The Dallas Cow. Yep. Hey, that's silver and blue lining.
We were at one of the 3 playoff wins in our lifetime. Silver and blue lining.
Silver and blue lining. There you go. There it is. I didn't think there was going to be one. We found it.
If you dig long enough, you'll find something.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've made it this far, we want to thank you for your time and attention and hope you've learned something of value here in the last half hour. Smash that thumbs up button, comment below, and activate that bell button so you can be the first to know when a new episode of Noise of the Boys is dropped. And with that, we're out of here. Uncle C. Tom, Matt Long. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out.